Hey, folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's intraday analysis video, brought to you by the creators of proprietary price, pattern, and time methodology. Learn the PPT strategies and profit for life. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. All right, today's date, Tuesday, May 27th, 2014. The markets are trading up across the board. NASDAQ is leading the charge again, so that tells you that technology continues to bounce back. We've seen a good bounce back in biotechnology as well as other technology shares out there. And again, remember, for months, literally, March, April, and even a good chunk of May, technology was getting smoked. You would see the Dow up 30 points, 40 points. NASDAQ would be down 30 or 40 points. So that really has reversed, and I'm not surprised to see it because as the market gets more complacent and there's less fear out there, that is why you're seeing that rotation into the NASDAQ, because those are known as high beta stocks and high risk stocks. So again, money flow coming back in there, and it's actually leaving behind some of the safety stocks. For instance, IBM down $1.40 today. That's known as an old school safety stock. Hewlett Packard, which had a great day on Friday, back down 65 cents today. Microsoft down 16 cents. J&J down 31 cents. Walmart down 15 cents. So you can really see that the safe stocks are seeing some money flow come out of them, while we're seeing the technology, the high beta plays, get some technology, or I should say, get some money flow into them. So that's the name of the game today. Volume extremely, and I stress this, extremely quiet. Look at the volume here, 44 million, and it's 3 o'clock. It's 3 p.m. on the button right now, 1 hour to close, and we've traded 44 million shares. So that's what we call a hangover day. And a hangover day, much like a hangover from alcohol, means it's a slow functioning day, very low volume. A lot of traders are still enjoying their holiday with their families, or they've just come back to the office and said, hey, listen, I partied too hard this weekend. I'm not going to trade much today. And that's why you get the lighter volume. Okay, so that's what we see there. And again, a couple other things here to note. Number one, I said that Monday, obviously the markets were closed on Monday. Today, Tuesday, would be a quiet trading day with neutral to upside in the markets, and that's exactly what we're seeing today. See the SPY right here, which mirrors the S&P 500 up 0.5%. I also think that starting tomorrow, you're going to start to see some more volatility. So be prepared for that, folks. Again, volatility increasing, not dramatically. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we're going to have a 300-point down day tomorrow. What I'm saying is you're going to start to see an increase in volatility from the low volume volatility we saw today and, yes, on Friday, I should say, and last Thursday. So you'll start to see a little bit more gyration. See how tight the markets are today? A small float up and then a little fade and then a little float. You're going to see more volatility that will be more reminiscent if we zoom out. So you see this type of volatility. All right, that's more like what you're going to see starting probably tomorrow and on Thursday of this week. All right, so that gives you a little bit of an idea there, what we're seeing here, and just trying to see if there's anything else I want to mention on the SPY. In terms of resistance, not a lot of resistance here. The one area of resistance is this trend line right here. So if we were to pop up a little bit more into tomorrow, you might see that level hit, which would be a good resistance. But right now, the markets are just short-term overbought. 4 up days in a row, which we honestly haven't seen in quite a while. The market's been more of the 3 up days, 3 pullback days, 3 up days, 3 down days type movement recently. I think because it's around a holiday, they were able to extend it just a little bit. Anytime you have 44 million shares traded on the markets, you're going to obviously have a lighter volume market that floats higher, right? And that's just the nature of the beast. As I always say, and I said this last week, it's human nature to be positive. So that's why in light volume you get upside, because remember, in light volume it means that the institutions have left and they're on vacation, so they're not trading, which means it's just the average investors that are buying or selling stocks. And because human nature is positive, viewing the glass half full, they're going to be buyers, net buyers usually. Right, as long as everything's complacent like it is, definitely net buyers. And remember, if people aren't positive, if they view the glass half empty and they're negative and they're depressed, well, guess what? The common theme is to medicate them so they are positive. So it just reinforces that positive side. And that's why you get that light volume flow to the upside. It's actually pretty cool to think about in that respect, why you get upside around holidays when the volume is dead because institutions have left the game. All right. Couple other things going on here in the markets. We can take a look at some key things. Number one, look at gold today. All right, gold down. Look at this huge drop on the GLD. I gave you guys this all last week, all the previous week. I said there's the daily chart. And again, look at this daily chart. This is a macro bearish pattern ready for breakdown, and it did break down. And the GDX was another beauty here. If we take a look at the GDX, look at this, down 3.5%. Macro bearish pattern. Told you a breakdown was coming. Nailed it. That is a beautiful breakdown on the GDX. And again, those charts were just setting up. It was just a matter of when. And I told people last week if you wanted to take a short on gold or the GDX, you could do it because it was just a matter of time until it falls. And sure enough, the GDX absolutely pounded to the downside today, just like gold. And you guys know what I've said. I said gold was going to go lower, and it's going to continue generally lower with bounces along the way. And I actually think gold will start to get close to the 1,000 area. 1,000 area is a very likely target on gold. Okay, so that's what we have going on there, folks. And again, just to go over a couple other key charts out there, how's oil performing today? Oil is basically flat on the day. Notice how we rallied up into a very high driving holiday. So Memorial Day, very high driving, and that's why they rally it up. I talked about this on my radio show this past Sunday as well, and we talked about how Valero's, the refiners, the oil companies, Exxon, Chevron, they know that there's going to be more demand for oil out there and for gasoline because of the high driving around the summer months. They don't go out of their way to increase production by a large amount. Therefore, they know that they're going to drive up prices and their profits will swell. So again, anytime you go into a big driving holiday, if the oil price has sold off like it did here, expect it to rally back up, oftentimes making a new multi-month high into those holidays, and that's what you see right there. Okay. Other than that, let me just scan through a couple other charts out there. Let's take a look at Apple today. All right, I told everyone a while ago when Apple was trading around the 580 level, 585 area, I said it was going to go to 615, 620. It has now eclipsed that level even today at 625. And again, just a beautiful move. Where's this going to go? I do have resistance coming up here on Apple, folks. And the resistance right now, believe it or not, look at this. There's a little bit of a level here. And then see these little tails. I know it's hard to see, but draw a trend line right there. And this is your range now. So I actually expect in the short term for Apple to stall out either today or early tomorrow and have a small pullback. I don't think it's going to be a big pullback, but I do think you have a very decent likelihood. See this area right here? See this pivot through across here? That's most likely where you're going to see a pullback on Apple too, which will be around the 600 level before it makes another move up. So right now, Apple, remember, Apple's doing a split. So stocks generally rally into their split. It's been doing just that. The key is that after the split, Apple's going to go higher by a little bit, and then you want to take a shorting opportunity. I did this very thing with Berkshire Hathaway B shares when I shorted them literally I think it was a couple years ago or so. After a split, I waited patiently for the split to occur and let it run up after the split for about 3 days using that 3-day rule, and then pulled the trigger on a short and made a very nice return on Berkshire Hathaway B shares. So nice to see that as well. And again, just using it to your advantage. Just use it to your advantage. We did take profits today, so more profits taken in the research center on UNH. All right, my business partner Nick, chief market strategist here alongside me. He had a beautiful trade on UNH all the way up here, and he took profits today right in this upper range for a beautiful gain on UNH. So great job there by him as the profits continue to flow in. And this is the beauty of it, right? I mean, it's all about just putting yourself in a position for the next move, not the large move, the next move. The next move could be down 3%. Well, there's plenty of stocks that will drop 5 to 10% in that. Can you find them and can you make money on them in the course of a week when that happens? Just a 1 week period. Couple stocks I'm watching here, guys. Let's take a look. Baidu, BIDU, up $1 today. This looks like it's starting to stall out. And look at Cena today. Cena continuing to stay on the weaker side here. I do like this reversal candle here, so it does make me think that if you get a nice bull flag on this Cena chart, you might have a long opportunity, so something I'm going to be watching very closely. Facebook today continues to rally up. This stock is now trading up about 2.85 percentage points. And again, look at where it is, though. See this area right here? Classic resistance area, guys. Classic resistance area coming into it. It actually has a little bit more upside, but then it should run into a brick wall right here, at least in the short term. Other stocks on watch. Let's just take a look at a couple of the key players out there. Chevron today up. Actually, check that down a little bit. I continue to hold this short. I am in the money on this. And again, to me, this is the beauty of Chevron right here. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me zoom in. See, this was the topping tail. And that was the alert that I saw that I wanted to short this thing. And sure enough, came down. We got a little bit of a retrace, and now it's fallen over. This should head towards this area, maybe even the 200. There's a big gap fill right down here. And again, Chevron, this is where it comes into money flow, right? So money flow is now coming out of the safe stocks. Oil is starting to top out in the short term after the holiday, and you should see again Chevron pull back a little bit more. I would say at least to about 120. 120 would be my short term target on that stock. Another stock I think that could have put in a short term top today is Zillow. Classic move on Zillow here. Look at this. Potential topping tail, extended move. Look at this chart. Longer term, the stock is astronomically extended. And again, we have to watch to see where this closes, but you may have a topping tail here. I'm not saying I'm going to short it myself, but I may. If you're a research center member, you may get an alert in the next few days if we get a good setup off this potential topping tail as a shorting opportunity. So there's a lot going on out here, folks. I mean, it seems like everyone will say, "Oh, the spiders, they're just floating up," and "Oh, nothing much going on, volume's dead." But actually, there's a lot of little inner workings going on right now that I think are I stress, very important to this market and very important to getting the next trade setups. That's going to be a great setup. Okay? All right. On that note, folks, I'm going to bid you farewell. Come take the 7-day free trial here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. Remember, the Research Center is what most of you guys want to get swing trade alerts with entry, exit point, stops, targets. Get daily analysis videos, daily market report videos, live broadcast. That's what's in the Research Center. If you're a day trader, then you want the Intraday Stock Chat 7-day free trial. Come to InTheMoneyStocks.com. Profit for life.